So President Trump has won, at least temporarily, one of the emoluments cases against him. This is the New York Times reporting. They say the following. In a legal victory for President Trump, a federal appeals court panel on Wednesday ordered the dismissal of a lawsuit claiming that he had violated the Constitution by collecting profits from government guests at his hotel in the nation's capital. A three-judge panel of the United States Court of Appeals for the Fourth Circuit in Richmond, Virginia, found that the state of Maryland and the District of Columbia had no legal standing to sue Mr. Trump. The judges roundly rejected the premise of the case, which claimed that the Trump International Hotel, blocks from the White House, is unfairly siphoning off business from hotels in which the local jurisdictions have a financial interest. The lawsuit, which alleges violations of the Constitution's anti-corruption or emoluments clauses, was about to enter the evidence-gathering phase. The district and Maryland's interest in enforcing the emoluments clause is so attenuated and abstract that their prosecution of this case readily provokes the question of whether this action against the president is an appropriate use of the courts, which were created to resolve real cases and controversies, the panel wrote in its decision. Until Mr. Trump took office, no court had ever ruled on the meaning of the emoluments clauses or how they could be enforced, if at all. The Fourth Circuit panel's decision is unlikely to be the last word. The plaintiffs could appeal to the full court, which is less conservative than the judges who ruled. All three judges on the panel were appointed by Republican presidents. Well, there you have it. A similar case filed by congressional Democrats is now before the United States Court of Appeals for the District of Columbia Circuit, and legal experts say the question could well wind up before the Supreme Court. Nonetheless, the decision was welcome for a White House facing legal challenges on a host of issues, including its handling of the 2020 census and Mr. Trump's refusal to turn over his tax returns to Congress. Mr. Trump promptly expressed his satisfaction, saying he has lost money, not enriched himself since taking office. Word just out that I won a big part of the deep state and Democrat-induced witch hunt, he wrote on Twitter. Unanimous decision in my favor from the United States Court of Appeals for the Fourth Circuit on the ridiculous emoluments case. Okay, so there's a lot to say here, but first and foremost, notice what the judges said here. And the judges were all appointed by Republican presidents. Yes, that is an important fact, because I do think they're biased, and I do think they're giving him the benefit of the doubt, and I think they're factually wrong. But they literally say, in what they wrote, they said, well, is this a real appropriate use of the court's time? The court was created to resolve real cases and controversies. Excuse you? So just so everybody knows, we have detailed, extensive investigative reporting on this issue that found in no uncertain terms the Saudi Arabian government, for example, has siphoned at least $300,000 into Trump's pockets because they are staying and purposefully overpaying, but they're staying at Trump's hotels anytime they have business in the U.S. And so they're going to his hotels, staying at his hotels, overpaying on purpose, giving him hundreds of thousands of dollars so that then they could turn around when they're negotiating with him and they're in the Oval Office and they say, oh, Mr. President, what about that weapons deal that we were just talking about? And then, of course, Trump is approving billions and billions of dollars worth of weapons to go to Saudi Arabia, even knowing that they killed Jamal Khashoggi, even knowing that they're doing a genocide in Yemen. The idea that this panel of judges would have the nerve to say, we're here to talk about, like, real issues and real controversies and real cases. This is not that. Are you seriously going to tell people, given those facts I just laid out right there, that this is not a real issue? That the president of the United States taking hundreds of thousands of dollars, if not millions of dollars in some cases, from foreign governments at his businesses, that does not constitute a real issue? That does not constitute a conflict of interest? By the way, governments have literally canceled plans elsewhere to stay at Trump's hotel when doing business in Washington, D.C. Why? Shits and giggles? Oh, no, I've just said, even though we had plans, even though we were going to go to that hotel, now we're going to go to that hotel. And the reason? No reason, bro. It's not like I'm trying to buy the president to do what I want him to do. Not at all, bro. Not at all. How stupid do you think we are? Now, if you're somebody who's a Trump fan, stop for a second and imagine this was Hillary Clinton and Bill Clinton doing this same thing. They own a hotel right near the White House, and at the last minute, the heads of state and various representatives and ambassadors from various states, they decide, no, let's stay at that hotel and let's give money to the president. Nothing to see here? What do you mean? He's just taking money. He's just running a business all normal-like. There's nothing weird here. Saudi Arabia even went as far as to host these veterans events, and they would buy out like whole floors of Trump's hotel. And again, they would purposefully overpay. Why? Because it's all a bribe. Now, they could turn around and say, hey man, there's no direct quid pro quo, which would still be a weaselly argument. But at least they would be acknowledging in the process of making that argument, like, okay, this is still an issue. The judge panel was like, what, bro? We're here to handle real cases and real controversies, okay? Don't insult our intelligence. You don't insult our intelligence. This is like when the Supreme Court said on the issue of money in politics, not only is it not corruption, it's not even the appearance of corruption. Really? It's not even the appearance of corruption. When Wall Street gives a tremendous amount of money to George W. Bush, to Barack Obama, and then both of those presidents back-to-back bail out Wall Street with no strings attached. Not only is it not corruption, it's not even the appearance of corruption. What do you mean? There's nothing wrong or weird here at all happening at all. What? What hacks? Just because they're judges dressed in their goofy-ass robes and their old serious men with glasses and, yeah, I'm serious, doesn't mean they're intelligent, doesn't mean they're telling you the truth. In this case, they're gaslighting you, and they know they're gaslighting you. So, guess what? This may be one instance of an emoluments case against Trump being thrown out, but there are more happening. And if any court in this country is willing to have, like, a bare minimum reality-based interpretation of what's happening here, they will rule against him. But that being said, he might get away with it. Why? He gets away with everything else. And also, the Supreme Court is massively conservative now. If this goes all the way to the Supreme Court, what's going to happen? Unfortunately, I think we know. Because this Supreme Court is even worse compared to when this Supreme Court ruled, basically money equals free speech, repeatedly. So you can be president, you can own a zillion businesses, other governments can give you money, funnel you money through those businesses. You can bias policy in the direction of those countries. And our court system goes, nothing to see at all, bro. Nothing to see at all. How stupid do you think we are? The reality is, we're not the stupid ones. You're the stupid ones, and you're the corrupt ones, and we see right through you.